Sienna timidly suggested, I always feel that Tian Tian's aura is familiar. Gu Chang'e, why don't you take Tian Tian and me back to Peach Village? There are a few masters there with great power and profound knowledge, maybe they can find a solution. Gu Chang'e retorted, Peach Village is a place even immortals despise. Do they have those mysterious masters you mentioned, and a mystical peach tree? Sienna nodded, yes, I grew up there and cultivated. Sienna thought, as expected, Gu Chang'e knows that place. After all, he has many eyes and ears. Seeing how much Gu Chang'e knew about that place, Sienna was secretly happy, this guy, he's tough on the outside but soft on the inside. He investigated it secretly just to care about me. He still cares about me. Gu Chang'e sighed, you're thinking too much, I'm just afraid they'll come after me for revenge, so I had to investigate it. Sienna patted Tian Tian's head and said, don't learn from him, his words don't match his heart. Gu Chang'e lazily replied, sigh, these days, no one believes the truth. The scene shifted to the Chongqing Wang family, where the holy maiden was lying on a sunbathing chair, listening to the servants' report. You say Jiang Chuchu went to see Gu Chang'e? That's not something she would do, something feels off. At the ancient Yi clan, a man and a woman were gazing into the distance, conversing. This time, the various major sects are teaming up to establish the true immortal academy. With brother Gu Chang'e's talent, he will surely be qualified. We must ask him about it when the time comes. A long-haired girl named Lioli said with some doubt, could it be the prince from the heavenly emperor realm? The man immediately rebutted, impossible. He has never left Heavenly Emperor Mountain, and besides, the place where the incident occurred is too far from there. Lioli replied, then this must be a method to divert his attention. The man said, it's not impossible, we must proceed with caution. But if we don't see it with our own eyes, it's hard to believe. The man hesitated, devouring the essence of ancient bodies and specializing in strange methods. This is indeed a demonic art. They remembered that while they were talking in the forest, a person in a black robe appeared, radiating a purple aura. He asked the two, who is it? Lioli sighed, what a pity, we can't see his true face. That woman has already escaped. If only brother Gu was there. The man comforted, yes, the upper realm is becoming more chaotic, demons and monsters are emerging. Indeed, we still need brother Gu to hold the situation together. Lioli, this matter is not fully investigated, it must not be spread. After all, the inheritor of that demonic art is too terrifying. On the other side, Gu Chang'e was drifting on the sea, heading to Peach Village with Sienna and Tian Tian. The scene shifted to Peach Village, a place as beautiful as a fairyland. The group was drinking tea and chatting when one person said, has Old Five gone to the Sea King's palace to vent for Sienna? Why hasn't he returned yet? The white-haired elder answered, not yet, this girl has been out for so long and hasn't come back to check. The elder sitting in a wheelchair joked, oh, starting to worry now. The white-haired elder awkwardly stroked his beard and said, worry about what? She's carrying the inheritance of all of us, no ordinary person outside can harm her. The elder in the wheelchair laughed heartily, you're in denial, let's bet, when Sienna comes back. You'll be the first to cry. The old man smoking a pipe also laughed and agreed, yeah, you're the one who dotes on her the most. Surrounded by everyone, the white-haired elder awkwardly said, when I was severely injured and my life was hanging by a thread, I didn't shed a single tear. Cry. I can't cry. Suddenly, a voice of Master was heard, and the elder in the wheelchair said, I think I heard Sienna's voice. The elder smoking a pipe also stopped, I heard it too, it sounded like Sienna. The white-haired elder thought to himself, these two old guys are tricking me, trying to mess with me. You must be imagining things. At this moment, Gu Chang'e and Sienna arrived, and Sienna quickly shouted, Master, Second Master, Third Master, Fourth Master. Huh, is that really the girl coming back? Sienna happily waved her hand, and the four elders were moved to tears. Sienna, woo woo, the white-haired master stepped forward. Let me see, have you lost weight? Have you been poisoned by someone in the martial world? The other masters took turns checking, and the fourth master praised, this girl, getting more beautiful every day. Gu Changa thought to himself, this girl just left Taomeng village not long ago, how come I didn't notice any changes? Tian was still feeling timid. Master, that tree. Gu Changa immediately reassured, don't be afraid, I am here. The master then asked, Sienna, why did you bring a man back? Fourth master scolded, Sienna, you're so silly, have you forgotten what your master taught you? Those handsome men are always the ones who deceive innocent girls. Second master also agreed from outside, that's right, the child is already so grown. Gu Changa heard them mention him, and immediately stepped forward to salute, saying, I, the younger generation, pay my respects to all the seniors, I am Sienna's brother, I hope the seniors don't misunderstand. Tian also stepped forward and saluted, Tian pays respects to all the seniors. Sienna blushed and said, everyone, don't guess wildly, this is Gu Changa. At that moment, the master smiled and said, oh, it's the brother. Indeed it's Gu Changa. That's a good name. Fourth master continued, look, this child even knows how to salute. He has some manners. Haha, it's Gu Changa. Changa. Then the four masters seemed to realize something, their eyes widened and their mouths formed an O shape. What is this? Then the four masters angrily said, you are the bastard who took Sienna's island bone, right? Quite remarkable. You still dare to come here. Is it because you rely on the Chongqinggu family behind you? If so, you're mistaken. Sienna saw the masters getting furious and quickly called out, everyone misunderstood. Let me explain. The Grand Master saw Sienna trying to stop them and said, Sienna, you don't have to be afraid, he won't be leaving today. Yes. Let the masters teach him a lesson and vent your anger. Gu Changa saw this and felt helpless toward Sienna's masters, they can't tell right from wrong. Want to make a move just because we arrived? Since the seniors have such hostility, then there's no need for further words. The four masters became even angrier. This little brat who just reached the Saint Realm has no idea how high the sky is, where does his courage come from? Sienna rushed forward to stop the masters, masters, don't get worked up, things are not as you think. While trying to stop the masters, Sienna scolded Gu Changa, can you say less? Have you forgotten the purpose of your visit? Masters, second master, please listen to me. Sienna then explained everything to the masters, and after a while, the four masters finally understood. The Grand Master then said, so that's how it is, I didn't expect so much to have happened. Sienna, isn't he deceiving you? Sienna replied, Third Master, do I look like a fool? The masters then agreed, yes, indeed, if he had any ill intentions, he wouldn't dare to come here alone. Suddenly, a voice came, what are you looking at? The masters were surprised when they saw that Lady Yaoji actually spoke to this person. Seeing Lady Yaoji speak to him, Gu Changa calmly responded, nothing. I just feel that the aura of this senior is somewhat similar to my disciple Tian. Lady Yaoji then said, she and I indeed have a deep connection. I can sense her thoughts. Tian stood aside and confirmed, Master, I can sense her, she feels like an older sister to me. Sienna and the masters were also surprised that Tian was related to Lady Yaoji. This was truly a coincidence, and the Grand Master also spoke, does this child have anything special? Lady Yaoji then said to Tian, come over here. Seeing that Tian was a bit scared, she asked the master for his opinion. Gu Changa, seeing this, comforted her, Tian is my beloved disciple. I hope the senior does not have any ill intentions toward her. If so, don't blame me for being rude. Sienna and the others were stunned by Gu Changa's overbearing manner, is this person crazy? Lady Yaoji, seeing this, said, oh, you dare threaten me for her. Interesting. But what is your relationship with Tian Tian? From my intuition, I am naturally connected to her. So you can rest assured. Gu Chang'e then turned to Tian Tian and said, Tian Tian, you go. A pink aura enveloped the surroundings, and Sienna, seeing this, sighed, I didn't expect Lady Yaoji to separate us like this. Why did she do this just after meeting Gu Chang'e? The Grand Elder, upon seeing this, said, could there be something wrong with that person? But with Lady Yaoji here, there shouldn't be any major problems. At this moment, Lady Yaoji revealed her true form, and a beautiful woman appeared next to Tian Tian. Gu Chang'e's eyes were shining brightly. Over here, the fairy noticed, the demonic heart. So that's it. Gu Chang'e stepped forward and asked, Senior, are you testing me? Seeing this, the fairy immediately said, what? Are you unhappy that I found out? Gu Chang'e bowed and said, I dare not, Senior. Your abilities are vast, I admire you greatly. Then Gu Chang'e secretly smiled, you've been tricked. What you saw was only what I wanted you to see. The fairy continued, has anyone ever told you that your smile is very pretentious? Gu Chang'e didn't care much and asked, what is Senior doing? Where's Tian Tian? The fairy replied, helping her remove some of the Great Road scars. Anyway, she's like my sister, family. I'll bring Tian Tian back to you safely. If you harm her, I won't let you go. Gu Chang'e bowed, Senior is joking. I would never bully the weak. The fairy was speechless. Seeing this, she said, you dare mock me. Gu Chang'e looked innocent, how could I say such a thing? Senior definitely didn't mean that. The fairy laughed loudly, interesting, I haven't met someone like you in a long time. Life will no longer be boring and monotonous. Then the fairy continued, Sienna is also like half of my disciple. If you two have settled things, then no need to say more. As for your demonic heart, I can't help you now. Take this petal to an old man who owes me a favor and give it to him. If he's still alive, maybe he can help you. Gu Chang'e, holding Tian Tian, took the petal and said, thank you, Senior. Gu Chang'e was secretly delighted, the opportunity is in my hands, and the harvest is rich. The fairy continued, all right, this is to thank you for taking care of Tian Tian. The other masters also said to each other, let's go. It seems the fairy has accepted that young man. I think he's not bad, already a sage at such a young age. Sienna walked up to Gu Chang'e and asked, Gu Chang'e, what did fairy sister tell you? Gu Chang'e looked innocent, what did she say? What did she say? Sienna sighed at the fairy. Then Gu Chang'e continued, she said, as your brother, I really have a hard time. I'll tell you, you need to be filial to me in the future. After Gu Chang'e got the fairy's opportunity, Sienna was very curious. Unfortunately, Gu Chang'e didn't tell her clearly. And instead joked with her curiosity, making Sienna very angry, you're not telling me. Fine, I'll ask myself. After a while, Gu Chang'e was ready to leave, thank you all for taking care of and nurturing Sienna. As her brother, I feel very ashamed. If you don't mind, here are some high-grade spiritual herbs and elixirs, please accept them. The others felt awkward but still accepted, Young friend Gu Chang'e, you're very considerate. We didn't expect you to adapt so quickly and have so much inside information. It's all a misunderstanding, no need to be too nervous. At this moment, Sienna was listening to the fairy sister explain things. I didn't expect the demonic heart to have entangled Gu Chang'e since birth. It seems that a body carrying the demonic heart needs to suppress the demonic nature to stay clear-headed. When he took your great Tao wisdom bone, maybe it was just the instinct of the demonic heart. Hearing this, Sienna understood, so the great Tao wisdom bone can help him suppress the demonic nature, right? Then Sienna said, if I give him the great Tao bone now, will it still have the same effect as before? The fairy replied, the effect might be poor. After all, demonic nature doesn't remain unchanged. Talking about demonic nature is a long story. Even if both sides try to eliminate it, it may not fully disappear. After hearing the answer, Xianer quickly looked at Gu Chang'e. At this moment, Gu Chang'e was responding to the masters surrounding him. Indeed a talent, young friend Gu Chang'e, do you have a marriage contract this year? Gu Chang'e already has a marriage contract. Young friend, would you like to have a drink? I don't smoke. That's fine. You can marry a wife and concubine. There are many young girls in the village still single. What do you think? Xianer said, I want to help him, no matter how difficult it is, I want to try. The fairy was surprised, Xianer, you. She then approached and shouted, Gu Chang'e is clearly a smart person, how could he make such a mistake in the Nirvana lake? Chang'e, upon hearing this, felt confused, what are you talking about? Are you itchy? Didn't the scolding a few days ago suffice? Xianer then took out a round knife and said seriously, as long as I can give you the Dao bone, I can suppress your demonic nature. What happened before won't happen again. This is my choice, don't blame others. Chang'e and the other masters were stunned upon hearing this. She immediately swung her sword towards her own body and shouted, you need it more than I do. Unexpectedly, Chang'e reacted quickly and blocked her sword, even though his hand was injured. Chang'e angrily scolded, Gu Xianer, what are you doing? What will happen to your foundation if you get hurt? Foolish. If you do this again, I'll throw you into that woodshed. Xianer immediately cried out, you're the fool. Whether or not I have the immortal bone, for me, the round knife quickly fell to the ground. Chang'e quickly hugged Xianer and comforted her, good girl, I'm your brother, there's no need for you to offer your bone yet. She anxiously said, but your demonic heart. Chang'e then comforted her, the demonic heart is weak, I'll find a way to solve it myself. Do you know who Gu Chang'e is? Xianer said, but, and was quickly interrupted by him, no buts, I already spoke with Dao Yao Sr., and she proposed a solution. You don't need to add trouble to me. Chang'e looked at her, worried, thinking, could I have been deceived? The other masters were moved to tears, I didn't expect that Gu Chang'e is such a kind brother, we misunderstood before. This scene is truly the deep bond between siblings. Chang'e then showed displeasure and pushed her away, saying, enough, your snot is all over my clothes. This left her stunned and confused. Xianer then angrily shouted, I don't care about you anymore. Chang'e immediately flew away, leaving the other masters speechless. He politely bowed and said, I have something to attend to, so I'll take my leave. Yao Yao's injury hasn't healed yet, please let her and Xianer stay here, and I ask the seniors to take good care of them. The others then happily bid him farewell, Chang'e, remember to come back and visit, all the elders like you. Chang'e, look at Xianer's expression, she's all flustered the moment you leave. She immediately denied, I'm not. I even hope he disappears. The other masters looked at her with cunning eyes and said, Xianer, do you like him? Impossible. No way. You're siblings, after all. Hearing this, Xianer shouted angrily, how could it be? Masters, can you be serious? On the spaceship, Chang'e was standing when suddenly someone flew over. The person called out, Master. He turned his back to that person and asked, where are we with the investigation? His subordinate quickly reported, Master, the qualification to enter the true immortal academy comes from the large appearance of the absolute sound beings. There is an absolute sound battlefield in Nanxing Tian now. Many absolute sound beings have rushed out on their own, and many cultivators are also advancing. Chang'e, upon hearing this, said, Brother Yi also gave me the book, the absolute sound heaven is manifesting. All kinds of prodigies and freaks will fight for the qualification to enter the true immortal academy. That little brat from Heavenly Emperor Mountain, who could bring me some fun. He then showed a pleasant expression and ordered, depart, head to Nanxing Tian. In the Nanxing Tian region, someone shouted, this absolute sound battlefield in Nanxing Tian is indeed a good opportunity for us. The people from Nanxing Tian discussed, but I heard that many noble families and freakish powers have also appeared. If